This is TomoNews for Friday, January 5th. North Korea blew up one of its own cities by accident. North Korea fabulously blew up one of its own urban cities accidentally during a ballistic missile test last year. Last April, when Kim Jong-fatty shot off a Hwasong-12 intermediate-range ballistic missile, it sadly couldn't even deliver a short range. Instead, it crashed in the city of Tokchon, located about 2 hours from Pyongyang. The missile was launched from the Pukchang airfield, but things went haywire as it flew 24 miles to the northeast, blowing up industrial or agricultural facilities in Tokchon. In the meantime, while North Korea is busy annihilating itself, what's Orangina doing? Bragging about the size of his bigly button. Wonderful. Chocolate is about to say goodbye to the world. If you're a fan of chocolate, you better start hoarding it now because it may be joining the dinosaurs in just a few decades. Scientists say chocolate is in danger of disappearing by 2050 due to warmer and drier conditions from global warming. Cacao can only be grown within a narrow strip of rainforested land about 20 degrees north and south of the equator, where the temperature, rain, and humidity are relatively constant year-round. Over half of the world's chocolate comes from 2 African countries, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. However, rising temperatures over the next decades will make those regions unsuitable for cacao. Researchers from the University of California are now working with the Mars Company to save the cacao plant from disappearing. Berkeley scientists hope to modify cacao DNA using CRISPR technology to develop plants that won't wilt or rot at their current elevations under warmer conditions. No, but really, life without chocolate? Uh-oh. Otakus all around Japan may be ecstatic at the prospect of intimacy with an anime hologram, but the country's population problem may have just gotten worse. Japan has a baby shortage thanks in part to young Japanese who are shunning romantic relationships in favor of a $2,000 holographic wife. Gatebox is technically a virtual assistant like Amazon Alexa, but instead of a disembodied voice, you get a hologram of a character that's exceedingly cutesy and likes to talk. It helps fill in an intimacy void, with the virtual character providing companionship without all the trappings of a messy human relationship. It even sends you messages throughout the day like a normal friend or, wife. All in all, Gatebox seems like a reasonably pleasant alternative to those of us who don't interact well with actual people. Except virtual relationships don't result in babies that help ease a declining birth rate, so while that void of intimacy may be filled, consider the population going, and soon gone. China doesn't want the UK's recycled plastic anymore. Rich countries are now scrambling to find other places to dump their garbage after China's recent plastics ban. China imported 7.3 million tons of plastic waste in 2017 from the US, the EU, the UK, and Japan. But starting this year, it's banning 24 categories of recyclables and solid waste. Britain alone sends around 2/3, about 500,000 tons, of its recycled plastic to China every year. UK recycling firms are now looking to Malaysia and Vietnam. However, both those countries have capacity issues. Unless other alternative markets can be found, the plastics will have to be sent for incineration or dumped in a landfill. Well, we could always start launching all of our garbage into space. No hand, no problem. An Italian woman has become the first woman to try out the first bionic hand with a sense of touch that can be worn outside a laboratory. Scientists in Rome have unveiled a portable bionic hand which uses sensors and electrodes to restore a sense of touch, trialing the technology on a woman who lost her hand 25 years ago. Sensors on the prosthetic hand detect whether an object being held is hard or soft and send electrical signals to a portable computer. The signals are converted into sensory impulses and sent to electrodes implanted in the upper arm, which then relay it to the brain. The process happens in real time, and the woman claimed she felt the sensation spontaneously as though it was her real hand. Unfortunately, she had to give back the prototype once the 6-month trial period ended. Scientists are now working on miniaturizing the electronics and making the technology clinically usable.